Hello everyone, welcome to Shankar's Physics Tutorials. In this video, let us see the solution of the sample question paper released by the CBSE officially for class 10 science. So in this video, we will be discussing only the physics part of the solutions. Okay, let us move into the question first. So let's see the solution of the 17th question. The question is, which of the following mirror is used by a dentist to examine a small cavity in a patient's teeth? So they have given four options. We need to find that. So if the dentist want to examine the small cavity of the teeth, he needs an enlarged image. Okay. So which mirror will be giving an enlarged image? We know that it is a concave mirror. So the option for this question is C. So when the object is placed closer to the mirror, we will be getting virtual, erect, and enlarged image of the cavity of the patient's teeth. Okay. So when the object is placed between the pole of the mirror and the principal focus. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. Question is 18. Which diagram shows image formation of an object on a screen by a converging lens? So they have given four different image formation by the converging lens. So let us find what is a converging lens. It is nothing but a convex lens. Okay, hope you know that. So for this lens, which image formation is correct? Okay, so let's see the first option. Here the object convex lens, and the object is placed on the principal axis. First ray, it is parallel to the principal axis, and after refraction it has to pass through the principal focus. That is the rule for the rays to travel, right? That is, when a ray is parallel to the principal axis, after refraction it has to principal focus. So what is this distance? This is O, optical center, and F. What is this distance? It is simply the focal length. It is not twice the focal length. So this option is ruled out. And let's see the second option B. So the first thing is a ray parallel to principal axis, after refraction passes through again principal focus. Here also they have given twice the focal length. So this is not the correct one. And also a ray that is passing through the principal focus has to emerge parallel to the principal axis. That is also, they have not followed that rule. So this option is also not correct. And let's see the third option. Here one ray is parallel to the principal axis. After refraction, it passes through the principal focus. So the distance between O and F is nothing but the focal length. So this condition is true. And the second ray passes through the optical center O. So it suffers no deviation, and it forms an image, that is, it forms an image on the other side of the lens. So the correct option is C. So let us not move into D. Okay. Even if it is D means a ray passing through, let us consider this to be F. But this ray has not emerged parallel. Instead, it has followed a zigzag path. Okay. So this option is also not correct. Okay. So option is C. Now let us move into the question 19. Question is, which of the following can make a parallel beam of light? So when it emerges from a mirror or a lens, we need to have a parallel beam of light when light from a point source is incident on it. So they have given four options. One is concave as well as convex lens, convex mirror as well as concave lens, two plane mirrors placed at 90° to each other, concave mirror as well as concave lens they have given. So first let us take the first option, concave mirror as well as concave lens. Let us see whether this condition is obeyed. So let us take a concave mirror and a point source is kept. Let us keep the object here. Okay, F. So a point light source passes through the principal focus. What happens? After reflection from the mirror, it emerges parallel to the principal axis, right? Like this. So it will emerge parallel. So this option is correct. Concave mirror is correct. So the answer has to be between these two, right? Okay, and then let us see convex lens. For convex lens also, if I keep the object in the principal focus like this, a ray will get refracted and emerge parallel. So in both the cases, this condition is satisfied. So I'm just directly picking A. Okay, you can just have an idea over concave lens also. Concave lens, it is only directed towards the principal focus and it will emerge, but it is not directly passing through the principal focus. So the answer for this question is, if you want to have a parallel beam of light from that is we need to have this either concave mirror or convex lens or both. Okay, let's move into the next question. 20th question. Consider three indices of refraction: glass, air, and water. So they have given three different medium. So let's mark this. Three different mediums are glass, air, and water. And their index of refraction of given. Okay, the indices of refraction are given. So for glass, it is 1.52. Air, it is 1.0003. Water is 1.33. So which has the greater refractive index? So Ng is greater compared to water, refractive index of water, which is also again greater compared to refractive index of air. So this is a hierarchical order of the refractive indices. What they have asked is, arrange the speed of light through the three mediums in decreasing order. So I want the velocity of the light in different medium first. So let us find the velocity of light in these three mediums. Okay, in glass, water, and air. Okay, so we need to find the relation relating the refractive index and the velocity of light. What is the formula? N is equal to C by V. Okay, so C is constant, N and V are inversely related. So the refractive index is inversely proportional to velocity of the light. So which has the greater refractive index here? Glass. Okay, so this is Ng is greater compared to refractive index of water, which is again greater than refractive index of air. Then how will be the velocities? So let us write the velocity of glass, water, velocity of light in glass, velocity of light in water, and velocity of light in air. So they are inversely related. Which has the greatest refractive index? So the material, when the light passes through that particular glass medium, it is going to have the least velocity, right? So velocity of light is greater than water. And again, the velocity of light in water is again greater than velocity of light in glass. So their arrangement will be VA is greater than velocity of light in water, which is again greater than velocity of light in glass medium. So they have asked to arrange in decreasing order. So this is greatest, second greatest, and the last one. Okay, if they have asked in increasing order means what you have to say. So if they have asked increasing order means this one will be 1, this one will be 2, this will be 3. Okay, so according to the question, option C is correct. Okay, so let us move into the next question. Question number 21. If a beam of red light and a beam of violet light is incident at the same angle on the inclined surface of a prism from air medium and produces an angle of refraction R and V respectively, which of the following is correct? Okay, so they have given two different colors. Okay, they are not given white light. Here they have given monochromatic light source, which is red and violet separately. Okay, they are both having the same angle of incidence side. So angle of incidence for the red color is same as that of angle of incidence for the violet color. Okay, and after refraction, and that is it, after refraction it undergoes two refraction. One is inside the prism and the one is the outside the prism, which is at the glass air interface. Here, air glass interface, first medium, one refraction, and glass air interface, it undergoes two refraction. So for first refraction, the refracted ray will be towards the normal like this. But in the case of glass to air refraction, the refraction will be away from the normal. Okay, this you know. When light travels from denser to rarer and rarer to denser, its bending one changes. Okay, so here in this case, let us see this, how the angle of refraction for this red color and violet color, how they are related. That is what we need to find. So they have given four options. Okay, you know that which is going to have the greatest bending here? Violet. So violet bends the most. Okay, so if it bends the most, its angle, that is the angle between the refracted violet ray and the normal, this normal will be greater. And red bends the least. Okay, so this angle will be smaller. So from this case, I can write this angle of refraction for the red color is small compared to that of the violet color. So I can take this answer. Okay, or either way, we can relate the refractive index with the wavelength of the light. What is the formula? N is equal to C by V. So I'm going to write this velocity of the light in the medium in terms of its frequency and wavelength. What is the formula relating Vf and lambda? It is nothing but speed of light is equal to frequency multiplied by wavelength. So C divided by F into lambda. Okay, so this C remains constant, and F, the frequency of the light, remains also constant when it moves from one medium to another. So N and lambda, they are inversely related. So let us name for the red color as well as violet color. So NR is equal to 1 by lambda R, and NV is proportional to 1 by lambda V. So which has the greater wavelength? This has the greater wavelength. Okay, so its refractive index will be smaller, whereas violet color, its refraction will be more and this will be less. Since they are oppositely related, their index of refraction is also going to, that is, their bending also is going to be. Which has the greater refractive index? For the red color, the index of refraction is smaller, so bending will be least here. Bending is least here. But here it undergoes refraction from denser to rarer medium. So bending will be larger in the second medium. So here also we can say, since the wavelength and the refractive index are inversely related, the refractive index of the violet color is higher. So if it is refractive index is higher, means bending will be more. Okay, bending is more. But we are calculating the angle between the normal and the refracted ray. Since it undergoes the second refraction in denser to rarer medium, its angle will be more. So we can say this to be the correct answer. So the angle of refraction for the red color is smaller than angle of refraction for the violet color. Okay, so let us move into the next question. Question number is 22. They have given a picture. Okay, so this is concave mirror, this is the non-reflecting side. They have kept the object at the center of curvature, and this is the principal focus. Examine the above figure and state which of the following option is correct. One small box in the figure is equal to 1 centimeter. So they have given so many boxes, right? So this distance is 1 centimeter. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, 6. Since it is on the left side, here focal length of the given mirror is given to be minus 3 centimeter, and the object is placed at minus 6 centimeter, isn't it? This is the object position. It is kept at 6 centimeter in front of the mirror, right? So u is equal to minus 6 centimeter. So let us see the given option. The mirror has a focal length of minus 6 centimeter. No, they have given the focal length to be minus 3 centimeter. So I can rule out this option A. So answer will be between B and C, right? The mirror has a focal length of minus 3 centimeter. What is the magnification produced? In the case of concave mirror, when the object is placed at the center of curvature, the image will also be formed at the same place, right here. So it will be also of having the same size, right? So this is where your image is formed. which is real and inverted. Okay, so if it is real and inverted means magnification will be negative, as well as object height and the image height are same means magnification will be 1. So since the image is real and inverted, we get negative 1. So here you have possibilities of B and C, but the magnification is negative 1. So the answer for this question is B. So let us rule out this C. Okay, so how you can find? If the magnification is negative, then image formed is real and inverted. Okay, have that in mind. So if you learn the ray diagrams, it will be very much helpful for you to identify this. If M is positive means, then it is virtual and erect. Image formed is virtual and erect. Okay, since the object is placed at the center of curvature, image will be also be forming on the center of curvature, which is below the principal axis. So your magnification will be negative 1. Okay, so either you can use this formula, you know this F and U, you can calculate V and then calculate M. That is not needed, it is very easy. So directly from the given information, we can easily find the answer. Okay, now let us move on to the next question, question number 23. Okay, so they have given this to be a hemispherical glass slab. Okay, air is entering from air to this hemispherical glass slab. Okay, what they have asked, the angle of incidence from air to glass at the point O. Here they have asked what is the angle of incidence from air to glass at the point O on the hemispherical glass slab. Here you could see that a ray is passing like this. This is the incident ray. It is not getting deviated, right? It is going straight like this. So what happens when a ray passes from one medium to another medium and it suffers no deviation means then the angle of incidence with the normal eye is definitely 0 degree, right? So let us see, this is glass air medium. Okay, this is medium 1 and this is medium 2 and this is the interface of glass and air. When a light falls perpendicular or when a light falls normally at this air glass interface, then the light will travel straight through the next medium. That is in the second medium. Here it is glass. And in this case, it suffers no deviation or no bending is experienced. But the velocity of the light will be changed. Okay, velocity changes, but there is no bending. Here in this case, how will you calculate the angle of incidence? Angle of incidence is nothing but angle between incident ray and normal, right? Here this is the normal and the ray passes through normally means there will be no angle between the incident ray and the normal. That means if the ray incident normally on the air glass interface, then its angle of incidence is 0 and angle of refraction will also be 0 degree. So answer for this question is B. Okay, so let's see the solution of the 24th question. A prism ABC with BC as the base is placed in different orientations. So they have given 4 different positions of the prism. They are oriented at different angles with the base. Okay, so if this is the base and this prism has been oriented with in different directions, a narrow beam of white light is incident on the prism. So this is the white light they have given. In which of the following diagrams after dispersion the third color from the top of the spectrum corresponds to the color of the sky? Okay, so they have asked from the top of the spectrum which color corresponds to blue. Okay, in which orientation we will be having the color to be blue from the top. So now let us see the first case. This is this particular prism is kept straight. So I first draw the deviation of this red color like this. Okay, so you know that red color is the least bent, so I'm drawing it like this. And the second color I'm taking roughly blue or violet like this. So this will be the case. So what is the spectrum order from bottom to top? It is WIBGR, right? This is WIBGR. So what is the third color from the top? This third color is Y in this case. So this option is not the correct answer. Let us take this option. You know that violet color bends the most, which is towards the base of the prism like this. Okay. And the least bent is red color. Okay. This has been totally inverted. And this will be like this. Okay. So what will be the spectrum? So from top it is VIBGR, right? So top is violet and the bottom is red color here. So what will be the third color? This is blue in this case. From the top means, so this one, for this particular orientation, for this second orientation, we will be getting the third color to be the blue. Okay. So answer for this question is option 2. So in this orientation, we will be getting the third color to be blue from the top of the spectrum. Okay. This is very easy. So if you know the spectrum order, it is very easy. So always when the prism is kept straight, from the bottom, we have to name this acronym VIBGR. Okay. Now let us see the reason and assertion part. Here they have, you know that they will be giving 4 options. The first option is both the assertion and the reason are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. B option is both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation. C is A is true, R is false. D is A is false, and R is true. Let us see the question. So question number 34. What is the question they have given? The assertion is sky appears blue in daytime. Yeah, that is true, right? White light is composed of 7 colors. That is also true. So we have to pick the option. Both A and R are correct. Now let us see whether this reason is correct explanation of A. Here the sky appears blue in daytime is because of the scattering of light, right? Whereas white light composed of 7 colors is nothing but the dispersion. So A and R are correct, but R is not the correct explanation for you because both these are saying about different phenomenon. So answer for this question is B. Okay. A and R are true, but R is not correct explanation of A. R is not correct explanation of A. Okay. Now let us move to the next question. So let us see the 39th question. If the power of the lens is -4 diameter, so they have given the power of the lens -4, that is -4.0 diopter. So if the power is negative, what will be the possibility of the lens? Okay, the possibility of the lens is concave lens. They have given that the given object is a lens, so it is a concave lens. Okay, only the concave lens will be having the negative power and negative focal length. Okay, so if F is negative, then P will also be negative. Power is also negative. Why? They are inversely related. P is equal to 1 by F. Okay. So they have given power to be -4 and we need to find what is the focal length. So -4 is equal to 1 by F. So from this we will calculate F to be -1 by 4. Okay. So what is 1 by 4? Negative of 0.25. You know that if they have given the power is given in diopter, then this focal length has to be in meter. But they have given the answer in meter centimeter. Now let us find the lens. Okay, what are the possible options? So between A and C has to be the option, right? You know that a focal length for the concave lens is negative. So it has to be either A or B. Okay, now we have found the focal length to be 0.25 meter. So we need to, so here they have given in meter in one case and the centimeter in another case. If it is meter means it has to be 0.25. So A is not the option. Let's see the C option. It is given as 25 centimeter. So let us change the 25 meter, that is 0.25 meter into centimeter. So it will be 25 into 10 power minus 2 meter. What is 10 power minus 2 meter? It is nothing but 20 centimeter. So it is 25 centimeter. Since the focal length is negative, F is negative 25 centimeter. So the answer for this question is C. concave lens of focal length negative 25 centimeter. Okay. Now let's see the 40th question. Rays from sun converge at a point 15 centimeter in front of a concave mirror. So they have given the sun. So sun has to be a distant object here. So sun is the distant object. So parallel rays of light will be falling on this concave mirror like this. Okay. So this is my principal axis and this is the ray. Parallel rays are falling on the mirror and they all converge at the principal focus, right? So what is this principal focus? It is nothing but this distance is given to be 15 centimeter. So this distance f is equal to 15. So f is negative 15. Why? Because the principal axis lies on the left side. Okay. Sorry, the principal focus. So the distance between the pole and the principal focus is focal length. So f is negative 15 centimeter. Okay. Likewise, this also converge at this ray. This ray will also converge here. So f is negative 15 centimeter. Where should an object be placed so that the size of the image is equal to size of the object? So what is the condition? The object size and the image size has to be the same. In which case you will be getting it when the object is placed at the center of curvature. You know f is negative 15 and another thing they have given, they all converge at this point means this is where you are getting the image and this is where the focal length lies. Okay, you know how to find the focal length of the given mirror, right? By focusing onto a distant object and the image is formed at a place where we are having the principal focus. So the distance between the pole and the principal focus has to be the focal length. So f is negative 15. At C means it is twice f. So what is twice f? It is twice of negative 15, which is negative 30 centimeter. So when the object is placed as 30 centimeter in front of the mirror, you will be getting the object size and image size to be the same. So what will be the option? This option is A, 30 centimeter in front of the mirror. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. The question number 43. Question is, if the real image of a candle flame is formed by a lens. Okay. So let us underline the important words. Here the clue is real image is formed by a candle flame formed by a lens. So here the lens have been given. You don't know what is the type of lens. Let us read the question completely. And the real image is 3 times the size of the flame. Okay. So they have given one information. The size of the flame I have given. So it is size means size, tall, height means they are saying about their height. Okay. So height of the flame, that is the image, height of the flame is 3 times the size of the flame. Okay. So this height of the image h prime is 3 times the height of the flame. Let's see question number 43. What they have given is, if the real image of a candle formed by a lens is 3 times the size of the flame. So let us mark the important words. The image formed is the real one. Okay, that is first hint. And they have given the object to be the lens. So the real image of a candle flame is formed is 3 times the size of the flame. So what they have given is H prime, which is the real image, is 3 times the size of the flame, which is H naught. Okay. H naught is the height of the object and H prime is the height of the image. Here the height of the flame, right? Real image. So the height of the image, which is the image of the flame. Image of the flame, right? This is 3 times the height of the object. And the distance between the lens and the image. So they have given the object distance, sorry, image distance they have given because it is between image and lens. So V is equal to 80 centimeter. At what distance should the candle be placed from the lens? So they have given object distance. Now the question is whether V is positive or negative. With the given information, the given object is lens. and it is forming a real image. So in which case we will be getting the real image only if the lens is a convex lens, isn't it? Because in concave lens, all the cases, irrespective of the position of the object, we are getting virtual and erect image. Here only in the convex lens, we are getting the image to be real. If it is real means, let us place the lens here, okay? And a flame is kept somewhere, you don't know what is that object distance, and the image is real means it is formed just below the principal axis, which is on the other side of the lens. So V is definitely positive 80 centimeter. Okay, and the image is real means it has to be below the principal axis, so it is also negative 3 times h naught. Okay, why? If the object is if the image is real and inverted, then the sign has to be negative. Why? The image is formed below the principal axis. Now we need to find u. So what are the things you know? You know h prime, v, and you need to find what is u. Now let us use this formula. For lens m is equal to h prime by h. Okay, which is 3 times h naught divided by h. So it is negative 3 times h naught, right? So h naught, h naught cancel. So m is equal to negative 3. So the magnification produced is negative 3. Now let us relate this to v and u. Okay, what is the formula? M is equal to v by u. V they have given to be 80 centimeter. So divided by u. So they have asked what is u. They have given the option, 3 different options are there. So let us rearrange this question. So u is equal to, this negative 3 comes down. So it is negative 80 by 3 centimeter. Here there is an option here, the D to be negative 80 by 30 centimeter. So I pick this option, which is the object distance. So the candle flame has to be placed at a distance of negative 80 by 3 centimeter, okay, in front of the lens. Okay, next. The question is 44. They have given a picture. So they have given this to be a concave mirror, right? Because the light is incident on the inner surface, so it is a concave mirror. Then only it suffers a reflection. So this is a concave mirror. While looking at the above diagram, Nalini concluded the following. Okay, so let us see the first option. The image of the object will be an virtual one. Okay, so what is the case of concave mirror? What are the possibilities of the concave mirror? The images can be real and inverted, or it can be virtual and erect. Okay, so it will be a virtual one. Definitely we cannot say that, because it may be real and inverted or virtual and erect based on the position of the object. Here, the object, this is the object, this is kept between center of curvature and principal focus, right? So if the object is kept between C and F, then definitely your image is real and inverted. Okay, but when the object is kept between P and F, means there is possibility that the image is virtual. Here, since the object is kept between C and F, your image is real and inverted. So this option is not correct. Okay, the reflected ray will travel along the same path as the incident ray, but in opposite direction. So here you could see that a ray passing through the center of curvature, because a light passing through the center of curvature means it is passing normally and it is incidenting on the mirror. So what happens when a ray passes normally? It will reflect back along the same path. So the option is the reflected ray will travel along the same path as the incident ray. Yes, correct. This is correct option. The image of the object will be inverted. Yes, the image we got will be real and inverted. So this is also correct. This is a concave mirror. That statement is correct. And hence the focal length will be negative. Yes. Why? The focal length of the concave mirror is negative since its focal length lies on the left side. As per the convention, if the principal focus lies on the left side of the mirror or whatever the lens may be, then your focal length is negative. So option 4 is also correct. Okay. So which one of the above statements are correct? So 2, 3 and 4 are correct. So the option is C. Okay. Now let's move to the next question. This is an interesting question, but bit tough. Anyway, it is, if you know the convention, when light travels from air to glass or glass to air, how will be the bending? Okay, so if you know this, we can easily crack this question. Question number 5. They have given different mediums. This is medium 1, 2, 3, and this is 4, or they have given us 1. Okay, if the two mediums are the same, or maybe the case. Okay, so first one, a ray, this is the incident ray 1, and this the refracted ray 2 in the second medium, and this will be the incident ray for this medium, right? Here it goes on. What is the given information is, in the above diagram, light is traveling through different media. Okay, it is noted by a scientist that angle 1 is equal to angle 3 is equal to 4. So this angle, whatever I'm just highlighting, this is going to be the same. That is what they have given. So angle 4 is equal to angle 3, which is equal to angle 1. So this is the given information, right? So angle 1 is equal to angle 3 is equal to angle 4. And angle 2 is less than angle 1. This angle, so I'm choosing a different color like this. So this angle 2 is 1, less than 1. Angle 2 is less than angle 1. So with this given information, what I can say, when will be the angle of refraction will be smaller? Only when the light travels from rarer to denser medium, its angle of incidence, here the angle of incidence is 1. So angle of incidence will be greater than angle of refraction. Here, angle 2 is smaller. So this medium 1 has to be a rarer medium, and medium 2 has to be denser medium. Okay, so from this given information, I can conclude that medium 1 is rarer than medium 2. Okay, which of the following statement would be correct? Let us read the statements first. Medium 1 is the denser than medium 3, but its density is equal to medium 2. What they have given? They are saying medium 1 is denser than medium 3 and its density is equal to medium 2. Actually, it is not the case. We have seen this. This medium 2 is denser than rarer medium. And with the given other information, these angles are same. Okay, if this angle is x and this will be also x, this will be also x, isn't it? Okay, this will be also x. What will be this angle? This will be less than x, isn't it? Angle 2 will be less than x. So in this case, if this angle is equal, this angle is equal, this angle is equal, what will be this angle and this angle? Okay, let's have a roughly idea. If we say x to be 45 degree, then this will be also 45 degree. Okay, this will be also 45 degree. And this angle will be less than 45 degree. So what will be this angle? Okay, this angle will also be less than 45 degree. Okay, so in that case means this angle is less than 45 degree means this angle is greater than this. Okay, this angle is smaller than this angle. Okay, so then this medium 2 is denser and this medium is rarer. Okay, why? When a ray passes from denser to rarer medium, its angle of refraction will be greater than angle of incidence. Okay, but when it passes from rarer to denser, angle of incidence will be greater than refraction. But in this case, the medium 3 is rarer compared to medium 2. So from the given statement, I can say that medium 1 is denser. No, it is definitely not the denser medium. Which medium is denser? Only medium 2 is denser. So here they have given us rarer. So these two options I can rule it out. Medium 3 is denser than medium 1. Okay, that is also not possible. Medium 1 and 3 are essentially the same medium, but medium 2 is denser than medium 1 and 3. Yes, definitely. So from this given information, we can see that medium 2 is denser than medium 1 and medium 3. Okay, okay. So with this, I conclude that the option for this question is D. Medium 1 and 3 are almost of the same medium, but 2 is denser than 1 and 3. This is the conclusion. Okay, based on the angle, we come to the conclusion. Okay, so always have that in mind. When light travels from rarer medium to denser medium, angle of incidence will be greater than angle of refraction. But whereas when light travels from denser to rarer medium, its angle of incidence will be smaller when compared to angle of refraction. So with this given information, we concluded that the option D is correct. Okay. Next question is question number 46. The question is the refractive index of the flint glass is 1.5 and that for alcohol is 1.36 with respect to air. So they have given the absolute refractive index. Absolute refractive index of flint glass and they have given for alcohol, okay, which is 1.65 and 1.36. What they have asked, what is the refractive index of the flint glass with respect to alcohol? So they have asked N of the flint glass with respect to alcohol. So let us take this to be medium 2, flint glass to be medium 2 and alcohol to be medium 1. So what is the formula for N21, which is N2 divided by N1? Here N2 is the refractive index of the flint glass, okay, absolute refractive index of the flint glass, which is 1.65 divided by absolute refractive index of alcohol 1.36. So when you divide these two, you get the answer to be 1.2. It's very simple. Only thing is you should know this formula. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 47. The above lens has a focal length of 10 centimeter. So what is the given lens? It is a convex lens. So the given lens is convex lens. F to be 10 centimeter. So where is the principal focus located for this lens? When the object is kept on left side, when it falls on this part has to be considered, right? So this part has to be considered as the spherical part and its principal focus lies on the right side. So F will be positive. Okay. So positive 10 centimeter. And the object of height 2 millimeter is placed at a distance of 5 centimeter from the pole. So they have given the height of the object which is 2 millimeter and the object distance is given u to be 5 centimeter. Always the object is kept on the left side. So it is negative. U is negative 5 centimeter. So what they have asked is they have asked what is the height of the image. Okay. So you know U and F, let us calculate V and then using that we will find the height of the image. Okay. So what is the formula? So now lens use this lens equation which is 1 by V minus 1 by U is equal to 1 by F. 1 by V we need to find. So I'm bringing this negative 1 by E to the other side. So which is, so 1 by V is equal to 1 by U plus 1 by F. Let's substitute this. U is negative 5 plus 1 by 10 centimeter. So if we take the LCM as 50, here you will be getting us negative 10 plus 5, which is minus 5 by 50, which is negative 1 over 10. So V is negative 10 centimeter. Okay. So what is this meaning? V, if V is negative means then your image is formed on the same side of the lens. Okay. So in the case of convex lens, in which case you will be getting this one, V will be negative only if the image is virtual and erect. Okay. But most of the cases, convex lens, you will be having the image formed on the right side. But in this case, we are getting V to be negative 10. That means the image is virtual and erect. Okay. Okay. Okay, even we can guess this from this diagram. Here the image is formed on the left side, so V has to be negative. Okay, just for the confirmation, we can from this diagram we can conclude that V has to be negative. If you don't get it, means that means you have entered some wrong readings. Okay, that is the inference of this. So from this given diagram also we confirm that V is negative. How much? 10 centimeter. Okay. Now let's find the magnification. M is equal to H prime by H. which is equal to V by U. Okay. What is V here? Negative 10. What is U? Negative 5. So your magnification will be positive 2. Okay. So M is positive 2. What is this meaning? If it is positive means you are getting virtual and erect image. And if the M is greater than 2 means it is definitely enlarged also. Yes, all these conditions are satisfied. Now with this information you find what is the height of the image. So M is equal to 2. H prime you need to find divided by what is the height of this object? It is 2 millimeter, right? Sorry, I have given as meter. It is 2 millimeter. Okay, so your H prime will be equal to, this is 2 and this is 2 millimeter, which shows that it is 4 millimeter. So the height of the image is 4 millimeter. Okay, so let's mark this answer. So the answer for this question is C, 4 millimeter. Okay. Now let's move on to the next question. So we go to section C. They have given a case here. First, let us read this case. Noor, a young student, was trying to demonstrate some properties of light in her science project work. She kept X inside the box and with the help of a laser pointer made light rays to pass through the holes on one side of the box. She had a small butter paper screen to see the spots of light being cast as they emerged. So what they are saying is Noor is demonstrating some experiments in science lab. She is having a box X and she is pointing a laser light to one end of the hole and she is getting the image in a butter paper on the other side. So they have given two rays and its image is also given. Okay, this has been traced in a butter sheet. Now, what is the question? What could be X that she placed inside the box to make the rays behave as shown? Okay, if it is a converging lens or if it is a convex lens means the rays has to converge. It is not converging, so this is not the option. Okay, and if it is a plane mirror, you will be having some inverted image and there will be, it suffers no bending. It will be virtual, erect and laterally inverted. Okay, so here also you are not getting it like this. It is getting deviated. So plane mirror is not also the case. If it is a prism means then it has to undergo dispersion. Okay, or else it has to be deviated. Okay, that is be deviated to one side, that is down to the prism. So here also this is not the case. It is just having a shift. Okay, so the option for this question is B, a parallel sided glass block is the correct option. Okay, now the next question is the continuation of this case, 58 question. She measured the angles of incidence for both the rays on the left side of the box to be 48 degree. So angle of incidence for ray 1 and 2, okay, they are both equal to 48.6 degree. This is the angle of incidence. She knew the refractive index of the material X to be 1.5. So this is the refractive index of this box, which is 1.5. So definitely the medium has to be a glass, right? The refractive index of glass is only 1.5. What will be the approximate angle of refraction? So they have given refractive index and they have given angle of incidence and they are asking what is R. So now we will use the Snell's law. What is the Snell's law? Refractive index of the second medium with respect to 1 is equal to sine I by sine R, right? What is N? Here they have given to be 1.5. Okay, and sine I is sine 48.6 degree divided by sine R. So here in this they have given sine I, which is sine 48.6 degree is approximately 0.75. So I can substitute here 0.75 divided by sine R. Okay, what will be sine R? Sine R is nothing but 0.75 divided by 1.5. It is approximately equivalent to 0.5. Okay, we are getting sine R to be 0.5. So what will be R? R will be sine inverse of 0.5. Okay, in which case you are getting 0.5, that is 1 by 2. and when the angle is 30 degree. So the angle of refraction for this case is 30 degree. Okay, because sine 0 is 0, 0 degree is 0, sine 30 degree is half. So since we are getting sine r to be approximately 0.5, we are getting r to be 30 degree. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Her friend noted the following observations from this demonstration. Yes. So you know the case. This is a lateral shift or refraction in glass slab, right? The emergent ray is going to get laterally shifted compared to the incident ray. So the first information is glass is optically rarer than air. No, glass is optically denser than air. Air and glass allow light to pass through them with the same velocity. No. Okay. Based on their refractive indices, their velocity changes. So velocity of the light in air will be maximum and compared to velocity of the light in glass. Okay. Air is optically rarer than glass. Yes, that is correct. Speed of light through a denser medium is faster. No. Speed of light through a denser medium is not faster. Okay. It is smaller than that. So this option is also not correct. The ratio of sine of angle of incidence in the first medium to the sine of angle of refraction in the second medium gives the refractive index of the second material with respect to 1. Yes. So we just now saw Snell's law is n to 1, which is sine I by sine r. Yes, it is obeying the given case. Okay. So what are the possible correct answers? Answer subdivision 3 and subdivision 5. So with the which one of the combination of the above statements given below is correct. Okay. So tutorials.